The Florida Keys, where earth, sea, and sky uniquely blend together into one harmonious whole. Here in Grassy Key, then, it's fitting to find a place where two species of animals, human and dolphin, also come together in harmony.
As a zoo director, of course, I love all animals. But there's something about dolphins that's very special to all of us. Maybe it's because they live in social groups, or they're so intelligent. But I think one of the main reasons we love dolphins is because they're so friendly. And here at the Dolphin Research Center in Grassy Key, Florida, a person has a rare and extraordinary opportunity to understand and communicate with these magnificent creatures.
The interaction between dolphin and human works both ways. Trainers show dolphins how to play in a people's world, and dolphins help humans learn about their environment.
Woo! Very nice!
The process begins with the Dolphin Sight program, when visitors are introduced to the dolphins by Laura Urian, Director of Education.
I'm going to put a hydrophone into the water so we can listen to their world. What you want to listen for is the dolphin's echolocation. What they're doing with those clicks is they're sending out a click to the object, waiting for the echo to bounce off of it, and then they receive that echo in their lower jaw. If you were to get into the water with the dolphins, they could pick up your heart beating, your lungs breathing, blood going through your veins. They can even potentially give pregnant women sonograms. We actually learned ultrasound from studying dolphins.
Once you learn how they perceive their world, it's time to learn how to communicate. It's sort of like putting your feet into a dolphin's flippers, so to speak.
The next thing I'd like to do is to train one of you to stand up. The first person who stands up will get this bag of M&Ms. All right, okay. Okay, so that's called a primary reinforcer. So what is it for dolphins?
Fish.
Fish, that's right. That's probably one of the number one reinforcers. Another kind of reinforcement that we use with the dolphins, you'll see how this works. The next person who stands up, I will give a hug.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Okay.
See, the problem is I'm allergic to chocolate.
Oh, I see. Well, that's important to know. So now that you have an idea of how it works, who would like to be a dolphin? Jack, okay, you'll be a dolphin. Who would like to be a trainer? All right, great. So here's your whistle. Okay, in just a minute, you're going to shape Jack's behavior using well-timed whistles or reinforcements. And we have to think of, you don't like chocolate, you like hugs, so whistle can, in your case, mean a hug every time you get something.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Something right. Okay, you don't mind, do you?
No.
Okay. Okay. You have to kind of move around and try different things to give your trainer something to reinforce.
I'm a dumb dolphin.
There's no such thing.
Well, I know, but for me, they're so much smarter than me.
That's for sure.
Well, no, that's just good.
Being a dolphin gave me a lot more respect for them. How do you figure out what the human wants?
We're not get the hug. This is too much.
I know, you're working so hard.
I ain't had a fish or nothing
And
yet.
I don't even know how to get it across to
I can give you a hint. Does she want you to keep your leg up or have your leg go up and down? You might want to test that out. That was the sort of episode.
I know I can keep my leg up and jump on one leg. That'll be good.
Try it. So what I'd like to do right now is to allow you all to experience what it's like to communicate with the dolphins via hand signals. Hi, you guys. Well, this is Anessa and Alita, and they're both two little girls that were both born here, right? Hey, good. Okay. Would you like to try one of your signals? Come on over, Nessa. All right, good, Alita. Good girl. All right. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna step up there and try giving them your signal.
Are you ready?
They're ready. And watch what they do. They're going to go way over there. All right. One more. That was great, Alita. Well, here's another one that they imitate, our giggle, our laugh. Actually, one of our trainers has a real funny laugh. And here's what the dolphins did to imitate us.
There's only a low fence that separates the center from the open Gulf waters. If a hurricane should ever destroy the barrier, it's important that the dolphins be familiar with the open waters. Linda Erb, director of dolphin training, puts zinc oxide on Anessa and Alita so they won't be mistaken for wild dolphins.
It's surprising how many people usually think the dolphins can't wait to get out of here. We found actually the opposite. When we opened the gates, these guys are like, go out there? And these two were both born here. So remember, they've never had to contend with being out in an open space where there wasn't that security of the fence.
You ready? You ready, girls? Want to go? Okay.
During their open water training sessions, Anessa and Alita could head out to sea if they wanted to, but they're obviously having too much fun with their human friends to leave.
Come on, Anessa! Good girl! Good girl, you ready? Keep going! Woo! Out that way!
It's hard to top the fantastic experience of meeting a dolphin face to face until you see what happens between a dolphin and a small child here at the Dolphin Research Center. It's all part of a unique and very inspiring program called Dolphin Child.
The idea is that the dolphins serve as a great motivator for a disabled child. When the child performs the correct behavior, he or she is rewarded by an encounter with the dolphin. The therapy is a true team effort between dolphin, trainer, and Dr. Dave.
The kids learn from 2 to 10 times more working with the dolphins in an aquatic environment than they do on land. What happens is their brain can focus in for a longer period of time on what has to be done. Anna! Good girl, all right. Good.
4-year-old Emily does not speak and is hyperactive. But in her first session with the dolphin, she's already concentrating and starting to vocalize the animal's name.
Good girl! He was great on that, Linda.
Yeah.
Good girl. Okay, good girl. Good girl.
Before we work with any of the handicapped children, the dolphins are actually kind of test run on our own children. And oftentimes you'll have the dolphins choose to work with the disabled. They want to go over. And I think they find it fascinating that not all people come in the same package, that some of us are put together differently.
Good boy. Nice and slow. I'm the one you gotta go slow for.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Hold
here.
on. Sing it. Here we go. Yeah!
Hey, you clapping for AJ. Go play with them?
Look at him.
Good boy.
That's it. Good girl, Emily. Good girl. Good girl. Good boy, Dave. Good work. Good girl.
Billy, who has Down syndrome, has been coming to the center for 3 years. His progress has been phenomenal.
Oh, great. Hi, Billy.
Until he recuperates from recent surgery, Billy must do all his work with Dr. Nathanson dockside. But the dolphin clearly influences his behavior.
Good job. Bill, what can you tell me about this little girl? She's angry, you're right. She looked very angry to me. What about this little girl? Is this little girl angry? No, what is she?
Happy.
She's a happy little girl, she sure is.
Billy's been coming here to the Dolphin Center since he was 22 months old. And at that time, he could only say like duh or buh. And with Dr. Dave's help, he has made great strides, speaking in sentences now and having a great time with the dolphins. We're so proud of him.
It was good to see AJ, wasn't it, Bill? Yeah, good to see the Dolphins. Good to see you. You got to meet Jack.
You're brave, you know that?
Yeah.
This is Jack.
Right there.
Hello. You're brave, I'll tell you that. I'm not that brave.
He is one of my good friends. Is he now a good friend of yours too? Yeah, I think so. He's a very, very nice man. The kids gain a sense of confidence. I mean, after all, if you're unable to walk or to speak, but you can stay out in the water and float and touch a dolphin, that's an animal much larger than you are, there's this whole sense of confidence that occurs.
We really are at the tip of the iceberg in everything that we know about dolphins. What you saw here today was about this much of what we know. There's about this much that we don't know.
These are the animals that we're destroying their homes by polluting the ocean, by putting drift nets out there, directly killing them. And you hate to think of it in terms of they have to do something for us in order to be a species worth saving, but the bottom line is when people see that, when people see an animal like a dolphin helping reach a disabled child, it sends a very strong message.
Oh, yeah, that's a good boy. It's more and more obvious that we humans have become the worst enemies of the animal world. But today we're trying to reverse that process. We're trying to become friends of the animals, to conserve and protect them. We're all trying to help the animals. But you know what? Have we ever thought about how much the animals can really help us? This isn't just a dolphin. This is a teacher for young disabled children. So next time we see a dolphin help a child learn how to talk or read for the first time, we need to remind ourselves, do they need us as much as we need them?
Anheuser-Busch Theme Park's Conservation Moment. The pledge made real. Since 1974, SeaWorld of Florida has been a member and major player in the Southeast U.S. Marine Mammal Stranding Network. SeaWorld has the resources necessary to respond to a mass marine mammal stranding. For a long time, it wasn't understood why these strandings occur, but now the evidence seems clear.
There aren't a lot of big mysteries in most cases. It simply is an animal who is so sick that he no longer cares that a tide has carried him up on the beach.
Animal so far, doctor.
Well, it's hard to tell at this point until we get some blood work, and we'll get that when we get back in the park. We'll be doing some things on the way back to try to make sure he's stabilized enough to get through the trip. Then we'll know more in another 24 to 48 hours.
Whatever disease or injury caused an animal to strand itself must be cured before it can be returned to the sea.
What we have here is an Atlantic bottlenose dolphin. It's a beached animal that beached itself yesterday at Vero Beach. It's one of those things that's very rewarding when you see an animal that was next to lifelessness to come back and within a few days to start eating again and responding to you.
If all goes well, a mammal or mammals can be released. This is always a moment of nervous anticipation. There's no happier sight than that of a successful release, and the animals swimming and thriving again in their natural environment. Anheuser-Busch Theme Parks, the pledge made real.